In the 3rd year of being kept by Michael, I received a message from his mother. Here's 1 million for you. Leave my son. Young student, you're a nice person, but you're not suitable for my son. He's going to get married and have children. He's about to get engaged soon. The other party is well matched. You'd better take care of yourself. Take this 1 million and find someone more suitable for you. The attached picture is a group photo of Michael and a woman. With a smile on his lips, Michael wiped the cake off the woman's mouth. I stared blankly at these messages, my eyes blurred with tears, and my heart felt a strange mix of sourness and numbness. Michael is the president of a listed company. He's rich and handsome. If he were in school, he'd definitely be the school hunk. On the first day I entered school, he lifted my chin and asked me, "You're good looking, but your clothes are too shabby. Come with me. I'll support you from now on." I rubbed the corner of my clothes that had been washed until their original color was unrecognizable, looking at the suit on Michael that clearly cost a fortune. I shamefully nodded. I really needed this allowance for being kept. My younger sister was still lying in the intensive care unit of the hospital. With this money, she could survive. Seeing that I agreed, a smile bloomed on Michael's face and he took my hand. "Come on. I'll take you to eat something delicious. Look how thin you are. You have to eat more from now on when you're with me. And what on earth are you wearing? I'll take you to buy some new clothes. Dress nicely and don't embarrass me." From then on, I became Michael's secret lover, hidden from the public. He provided the money and I provided myself. With his support, my younger sister gradually got out of danger. I've long known that this relationship hidden in the dark wouldn't last long. Michael is different from me. He comes from a wealthy family and will surely have to carry on the family line in the future. How could he be with me, a man, for a lifetime? Moreover, even among men, given Michael's conditions, there would be plenty of people vying for him. I'd never be the one. I just happened to look the way Michael likes, which is why I caught his fancy for a while. So it was no surprise when I received these messages. I stroked the empty space beside me that still retained Michael's warmth, and the tears welled up uncontrollably. Just a moment ago, he was still kissing my lips and whispering sweet nothings in my ear. It turns out that it was all just like a flower in the mirror and the moon in the water. It's just a game for the rich, and I'm the only one who took it seriously. I replied to the message with trembling hands. "Okay, I got it." I closed my eyes, my lips quivering slightly, but I didn't know what to say. Reason told me that I shouldn't humiliate myself. Instead, I should break up with Michael right away and disappear from his world. But I just couldn't bear to. The tenderness and affection of the past were not fake. Michael remembered my birthday. The first time I celebrated my birthday in my life was with him. He set off fireworks all over the sky for me. I asked him, "This is so expensive. How much does it cost?" Michael just waved his hand and said, "Spending a fortune to make a beauty smile is so worth it." He was dressed in fine clothes and full of youthful spirit. Unlike me, I've been smoothed out by life. For the sake of money, I can even sacrifice myself. I'm selfish and despicable. We're as different as the clouds in the sky and the mud on the ground. How can we be a good match? I quietly nuzzled into his arms. He followed my movement and hugged me even tighter. At that moment, I thought he loved me. So I had some inappropriate thoughts. I pinched myself hard and warned myself not to covet what doesn't belong to me. In order to gather the courage to break up with Michael, I drank 3 caddies of white wine in one go. The strong liquor made my stomach ache. I forced myself to swallow it mouthful by mouthful. I deluded myself into thinking that physical torture could ease the mental pain. My vision began to blur and my head felt dizzy. My phone rang ding dong, ding dong. I opened it and saw that it was a message from my tutor. "I've read your paper. Are you going to publish it in a story magazine? Write the name of the teacher next door as your supervisor. Let's work together to ruin his reputation in the education circle." How can you sleep at such a young age? Anyway, I can't sleep. Your thesis is tantamount to abusing the elderly. Don't you understand the importance of respecting the elderly and caring for the young? Under the influence of alcohol, I sent Michael a 1,000-word note. The main idea was to thank him for the money he had given me to support me over the years. I said that I had found someone better who could give me more and it was time to break up and never see each other again. Then I blocked and deleted him in one go. I replied to my supervisor, "I can't write anymore. Please, give me a hand. My head felt heavy and I fainted completely, losing consciousness. When I woke up the next day, my head ached terribly. Out of habit, I turned on my phone and received a message from Michael. "I've revised it. Fist. Clasping salute. How about it? Did I revise it okay?" Grinning face. If the revision is not good, bro can pay someone to revise it for you. I sat up abruptly from the bed. My headache was gone, and my vision was clear. Didn't I delete Michael yesterday? Then who is the one sending me messages? What did he send me? I tremblingly opened the file sent by Michael. What came into view was my thesis. There were also considerate red pen markings on it. Suddenly, I had a bad feeling in my heart and kept looking at it stubbornly. When on earth did that bastard Michael change his profile picture to be the same as my supervisor's? Then who did I send that note to and block and delete yesterday? Was it my supervisor? I didn't dare to think further. With a glimmer of hope, I opened the call log, only to find 99 plus missed calls from my supervisor. Me, I'm doomed. I grabbed my clothes and rushed outside. I only prayed that my supervisor would not let me delay my graduation, considering my hard work over the years. Michael was already waiting for me at the door, leaning against a big red sports car. Just like himself, he was bright and flamboyant. This house was bought by Michael. He put it nicely, saying the accommodation conditions at school are not good and I can't see you often. I didn't agree at first. It was too far from school and taking a taxi would be an expensive expense for me. But Michael said, that's just right. I'll take you there. I just regarded it as the young master's whim and agreed in principle to please the benefactor. I was determined that Michael would surely get bored in a few days and wouldn't pick me up and drop me off every day. I had to save up money for taxi fares. Unexpectedly, Michael really kept his promise and came on time every day. Seeing me come out, he grinned and said, let's go. I'll take you to school. I got into the passenger seat and Michael casually helped me fasten my seatbelt. He leaned over, hugged me, and slowly his fingertips brushed against my thigh. I gave a start and grabbed his fidgety hand. He looked up and stared into my eyes. His eyes were filled with my reflection. The air around my nose was filled with a nice perfume smell. I instinctively dodged to the side. It was too close. I pursed my lips and hung my head, not daring to look at him. Michael sensed that I was in a bad mood and sensibly stopped teasing me. While driving, he chattered on and on, don't be angry. Isn't it just a thesis? How did the one I revised for you yesterday turn out? I couldn't stand his nagging and opened the file he sent me. It was all marked in red. What does this sentence mean? I can't understand it, bro. My wife is really talented. It's really well written. It's all about responding to every word, but every sentence is nonsense. None of it can be used. Michael scratched his head embarrassedly. I didn't study hard at school. I just got a bachelor's degree. If you think what I wrote is no good, I'll hire someone to write it for you. I guarantee it'll satisfy your supervisor. I gritted my teeth and forced a smile. Do you know that getting someone to write your thesis is considered academic misconduct? Michael rubbed his nose. I never went to university and never wrote a thesis. What's academic misconduct? Feeling guilty, I furtively pushed open the door of the supervisor's office. The supervisor was sitting upright beside the desk, looking worried. He had even fewer hairs on his already sparse head. A few white hairs on his head were about to fall off with the wind brought by opening the door. Seeing me come in, he forced a bitter smile on his face. I instinctively closed the door, but the supervisor quickly stopped me. Don't close it. Keep it open. Closing the door can easily lead to misunderstandings. I can't let my reputation of so many years be ruined by you, kid. The supervisor was nearly 60. Staring at his wrinkled face, he hesitated before speaking. Alexander, has your teacher pushed you too hard over the years? You seem to be under a lot of pressure recently. Why don't you take a few days off and then revise your thesis? I have both a son and a daughter now, and I have a good relationship with your teacher's wife. I've carefully read what you sent yesterday, but I still think your ideas, well, are a bit too avant-garde. I quickly interrupted the supervisor. No, that's not what I meant. My boyfriend's profile picture is the same as yours. I sent the message to the wrong person. I sent it to the wrong person. The supervisor let out a sigh of relief. There was a look of surprise in his eyes, and he couldn't hold back the smile on his lips. I'd never seen him so happy before. But then he realized that it wasn't appropriate to be so happy in front of someone who had just broken up. Alexander, breaking up isn't scary. Starting a new relationship is the best way to get over a breakup. It's hard to find a toad with 3 legs, but there are plenty of men with 2 legs. If it doesn't work out, I'll introduce someone to you in a few days. I've taught many students and know quite a few handsome guys. Looking at the kind-hearted tutor in front of me, I recalled the messages sent to me by Michael's mother, and my mouth went bitter. After being kicked out of the tutor's office, I got a few days vacation. Michael was sitting in the car, quietly waiting for me to go over. My feelings became even more complicated. He was about to get engaged, so why was he still trying to get close to me? But I didn't dare to ask. If I didn't ask, we could still maintain our current relationship. If I asked, I might never see him again. The 1,000-word essay I accidentally sent to the tutor yesterday had already exhausted all my courage and strength. I couldn't bring myself to say no to him a second time. Yet Michael has been acting as if nothing had happened, showing concern for me. What would you like to eat for lunch? Let's go to a restaurant. You've been working hard these days and need to replenish your energy. Saying that, Michael handed me a bun. Didn't you have breakfast this morning? Have a little something first. I took the bun and took a bite. My eyes turned red and tears welled up in my eyes. How on earth could he be so calm and kind to me before breaking up with me? Michael was flustered. He also took a bite of the bun and asked me, is it really that bad? I think it's okay. Stop the car. I calmed down. Michael was completely confused, but he still obeyed me and parked the car steadily. I put my arms around Michael's neck and kissed him on the lips. A warm sensation came from my lips. Michael widened his eyes. Honey, we're in the car. I didn't care about anything. I just clung to Michael and thought meanly in my heart, let me indulge myself one last time. Just one last time, and I won't pester him anymore. Michael was caught off guard by my initiative, but he quickly took the lead. I grabbed the blanket on the car seat tightly and then let go weakly. Several times, Michael was afraid that I couldn't bear it and wanted to stop, but I always clung tightly to his neck. The clouds dispersed and the rain stopped. I no longer had the strength to move. Michael kissed the tears in the corners of my eyes and said, baby, you did very well today. I've transferred 100,000 yuan to your account. Buy whatever you want and don't treat yourself badly. My heart sank to the bottom instantly and a self-mocking smile tugged at the corner of my mouth. Thank you, Michael. Sure enough, in Michael's heart, I'm just a mistress greedy for money, a caged canary that can't be shown in public. Well, originally, I was just after his money. Starting with money, how can I expect it to end with true love? It's my fault. I shouldn't have lost my heart in this transaction. When I woke up, my whole body ached and my waist felt like it didn't belong to me anymore. But my body was clean and fresh. Michael had already taken care of me. Michael has always been gentle with me. He's never gone so overboard before. To be honest, as a sugar daddy, he's already very good. When I was first kept by him, I thought I'd fall into an abyss. After all, he's the young master of a wealthy family. Who knows what unspeakable fetishes he might have. But Michael is polite. Most of the time, he stops at the right point and is very well behaved. When I think that Michael might treat others the same way, I can't help but feel sad. On the table was a bowl of corn porridge that smelled sweet and delicious. The rice grains were clear and shiny, but I couldn't take a single bite. Next to the table was a note left by Michael. There were a few words scrawled on it, showing the haste when writing. It said, I have something to do. Excuse me. Remember to drink the porridge. I crumpled the paper into a ball again and again in a fit of annoyance, making it all wrinkled, and then threw it into the trash can. My head was groggy and my whole body was burning. It dawned on me later that I should have had a fever. I got up from the bed and searched around but couldn't find any antipyretic medicine. I could only get up and go to the pharmacy to buy some. Just as I reached the pharmacy door, I saw Michael chatting merrily with a woman. Graceful and elegant, she obviously belonged to the same world as Michael. She was the one in the photo that day, Michael's fiancée. I was an outsider, only worthy of peeping at their conversation from afar. I clenched my fists so tightly that my fingernails dug into the flesh, but I didn't feel a bit of pain. I wanted to call out to Michael, but my throat was so dry from the high fever that I couldn't utter a single word. I took out my phone and sent a message to Michael saying, where are you? I seem to have a fever. I'm feeling terrible. I watched as Michael received the message and frowned tightly. He should have been impatient. My phone beeped. Michael replied, I'm busy. I'll go home later. I sniffed, my steps were unsteady, and I staggered back the same way. I don't know how I managed to get back to bed. Within 5 minutes, I heard the door click. It was Michael coming back. I didn't know how to face him, so I simply closed my eyes and pretended to be asleep. I listened as his footsteps got closer. His hand touched my forehead and a cold sensation came from my forehead. He clicked his tongue twice. I shouldn't have played so hard yesterday. Then he softly woke me up, Samuel, Samuel. I pretended to be dead to the end and continued to act as if I was slowly waking up. Take the medicine before going back to sleep. Michael's forehead was now covered with fine beads of sweat as he rushed back in a hurry. I opened my mouth and took the pill that Michael gave me. A bitter taste filled my mouth. Then Michael stuffed a small piece of fruit candy into my mouth. It was strawberry flavored. The sweetness of the fruit candy spread in my mouth and the taste of the medicine soon disappeared, but the bitterness in my heart couldn't be suppressed. He stroked my head, go back to sleep for a while. Then he was about to turn around and leave. I reached out and grabbed the corner of his clothes. Where did you go just now? I was extremely humble. As long as he told me the truth, I would tell him that I liked him, seeking a glimmer of possibility for myself. Michael stopped in his tracks. Just now there was something going on at the company. He would stutter whenever he lied, and he didn't even know he had this problem. Moreover, I had just seen with my own eyes that he was chatting and laughing with his fiancée at the pharmacy entrance. Michael still refused to tell me the truth. What's wrong with you today? Michael noticed that I was in a bad mood and held my hand. Just thinking that this hand holding mine might have held someone else's made me feel nauseous. I suddenly pushed him away. Don't touch me. The last glimmer of hope in my heart went out. I looked at Michael seriously and said, Michael, let's break up. There was no need for a 1,000-word essay. These few simple words just came out of my mouth. Michael was first incredulous, then he laughed and said, what's wrong? Are you delirious with fever? I stared at him without giving in and said, I'm not joking. You should get married and have children. You found someone better than you. Who gives more? And is also good at Michael finally realized that I wasn't joking around. He pinched my chin, not very hard, and said word by word, Samuel, let me tell you. You'll be mine for the rest of your life. If you dare to run away, I'll break your legs and lock you up, so that you can never be with anyone else again. I didn't expect that the tutor was serious about introducing someone to me that day. He sent me a photo of a handsome guy. Alexander. This is a former student of mine. He is currently a well-known lecturer at a certain university. Your research field overlaps with his current research. Go and have a chat with him. Maybe it will inspire you for your thesis. Moreover, he is extremely handsome. The little old man in his 60s still talks so trendy. It was hard to decline the tutor's enthusiasm. I went to the coffee shop for the date at the appointed time. The senior brother waved to me and said, You're my junior brother Samuel, right? I've heard the tutor mention you. He said you're very excellent. Just as I sat down and we hadn't chatted for a few words, the senior brother steered the conversation towards my thesis. As expected of an outstanding graduate of my tutor, he was incisive in his words and hit the nail on the head, quickly pointing out my problems. I listened with great interest and couldn't help nodding. I benefited greatly from it, which will be of great help to my future research direction. I extended an invitation to him. Senior brother, can we have a more in-depth chat about relevant issues? Suddenly, Michael's furious voice came from beside my ear, interrupting my words. Samuel, is it because of him that you want to break up with me, right? What else do you want to do with him in depth? Can't I satisfy you anymore? Then he grabbed the senior brother by the collar and said, There are so many things you could do, but you have to be the other man. If you don't have a partner, you have to steal someone else's. You're an adult. Can't you find a partner on your own? Michael's spittle was almost flying onto the other person's face. Everyone in the coffee shop turned to look at us. In a moment of desperation, I reached out and grabbed Michael by the collar. Don't make a fool of yourself here. Michael grabbed my wrist in return and dragged me away. How much money did he give you? How good is his What's he better than me at? A series of questions bombarded me one after another. Michael pinned me against an empty corner, showing no sign of letting go until I gave him an answer, being persistent. Do you think he is well educated? Do you think I can't understand your papers? Do you not love me anymore? Heartless one. How could you change your heart so quickly? I was rendered speechless by him. How dare he play the victim and shift the blame onto me? All the emotions in my heart welled up at once. I tried my best to make my voice sound normal. But as soon as I opened my mouth, Michael kissed me and I couldn't speak. I felt the cold liquid falling on my face. Michael. Was he crying? With a sob in his voice, he said, Samuel, please don't say I'm inferior to him, and don't say you'll leave me. I can't live without you. He really put on a good act. Why didn't he think about not being able to live without me when he was getting engaged to someone else? I was like an angry cat, not willing to show weakness. Even though my heart was already in pieces, I had to pretend to be more carefree than Michael. Aren't you getting engaged? Why are you still pestering me? You can have a fiancé, but I can't find someone new? To tell you the truth, he's my senior, and he is indeed better than you. Michael looked utterly confused. What are you talking about? Who's getting engaged? Me? Why wasn't I informed? I showed Michael the chat history sent to me by his mother. The more he read, the uglier his face became. I shrank my body, afraid that he would rush up and beat me the next second. Who is this woman? I don't know her either. Is this photo photoshopped? Please, heaven, distinguish between loyalty and treachery. I let out a long sigh. Even now, he still refused to tell the truth. Does Michael want to have both men and women? After getting married, would he secretly keep me as his mistress? Michael, although I, Samuel, don't have money in my family, at least I know when to be sensible. As long as you tell me that you don't need me anymore, I will never appear in your sight. Why do you have to humiliate me? Michael ignored my resistance, hugged me in his arms, and rained kisses on me. Tirelessly, from my earlobe all the way to my collarbone. I lost my strength and half leaned in Michael's arms. I would have sat on the ground if it weren't for him holding me up. After being disturbed by him like this and gradually calming down, my brain began to work. Judging from Michael's performance, it seems that he really doesn't know about it. I pinched him and he let out an ow in pain, but he stood still obediently and didn't dare to move. He lowered his head and said, "My father died early, and my mother remarried long ago. She thought I was a burden and cut off contact with me long ago. I worked hard everywhere to survive. I was lucky to have the current family business. Seeing that I've grown up, opened a company, and have money, she wants to come back and ask for money to support her new family. I haven't talked to her for so many years. Who would have thought she'd come to contact you?" From Michael's intermittent narration, I pieced together an unfortunate childhood and a story of struggling in the mud and never yielding. This was the first time he mentioned his past to me. I originally thought that someone as cheerful and sunny as Michael should have a wealthy and open-minded family. A father who died early, a mother who remarried, and an unfortunate him. Michael squatted on the ground, a grown man curled up in a ball. I poked him and asked in a low voice, "Then what happened to you at the pharmacy door that day?" Michael suddenly realized, "It's all because of you. You insisted on. I couldn't control myself, and then you got a fever. I went to the pharmacy to buy you antipyretics. I met that woman who insisted that we break up. I thought it was a love debt you owed. Later, I found that she was talking incoherently and couldn't explain clearly, so I hurried home. I was even more puzzled. Then why did you lie to me that you went to the company?" Michael blushed and mumbled, "To tell the truth, I was afraid you'd laugh at me." After the misunderstanding was cleared up, a strong sense of guilt welled up in my heart. If I had known earlier, I would have asked him. There wouldn't have been such an absurd misunderstanding. I felt that Michael was about to break down. Knowing that I should take full responsibility, I coaxed him gently. He was sulking and turned his head away, refusing to look at me. Slowly lit a cigarette. "I know you're a top student and look down on us uneducated people. I didn't study for many years and can't understand the things you research. You, such a noble and unattainable person, should be cherished as a precious treasure by others, not mixed up with me. I can't give you anything but money." "Me? Are you listening to what you're saying? Is it even human language? Having money is enough. What else do you want? It's normal that you don't want to be with me. It's my fault. I shouldn't have trapped you with money." Michael's voice became lower and lower, filled with deep sadness. The more I listened, the more something seemed wrong. "You're a wealthy and extravagant CEO. What are you feeling inferior about? Shouldn't I be the one feeling inferior?" Michael slowly exhaled a puff of smoke. The smoke ring slowly dispersed in the air and finally disappeared. "Forget it. If you really find someone better, just go. Experts say that the best way to love someone is to let go. Which expert is misleading people like this?" I quickly explained I didn't mean that. "I love you very much." Biting back my shyness, I confessed my love to Michael. It was the first time in my life to say such embarrassing words, and I felt quite uncomfortable. Michael's mouth twitched inexplicably, then he turned his back to me, only leaving me with his back. I'll leave first. Go and pursue your own happiness. There's no need to comfort me. Michael turned around and left, his back trembling. He should be crying sadly. I squatted on the spot, my mind in a complete mess. This time, I really hurt Michael. How can I comfort him? It never rains, but it pours. I haven't comforted Michael yet, and then something happened to my sister. I received a call from the hospital saying that my sister's condition might not be good. I was extremely anxious and rushed to the hospital without caring about anything. My sister has a congenital disease and can only lie in the hospital bed for treatment. The medical expenses are very high. If it weren't for Michael, I really wouldn't have a way. I felt even more ashamed towards Michael. He had helped me so much, but I still suspected him. Over the years, with Michael's generous financial support, my sister's condition has stabilized a lot. Why did something suddenly happen today? After I arrived at the hospital, Michael was already there. Through the glass door, I saw him communicating with the doctor. He politely saw off the doctor who came for the consultation and then took out a lollipop to amuse my sister. My sister stretched out her hands to reach for the lollipop and was tickled by Michael. My sister asked him in a childish voice, "Why hasn't my brother come yet?" Michael didn't show any impatience at all. He pitched his voice high and said to my sister, "Your brother is busy with his studies. He asked me to come and play with you. Be a good girl and don't disturb your brother's study." My sister nodded half understandingly, "Okay. Then Brother Lou, play with me." A beautiful smile bloomed on Michael's face. He took out a rattle from somewhere and amused my sister to grab it and play. Judging from how familiar he is with my sister, he must have come here more than once. A warm current flowed through me. Michael had done a lot for me in places I didn't know. "Brother." My sister spotted me and exclaimed in surprise. Michael looked in my direction and I smiled at him. He walked quickly up to me and comforted me. "Don't worry. I've asked the doctor. Your sister's condition has stabilized." I hugged Michael tightly and said, "Thank you." It was sincere. Michael patted my shoulder reassuringly and said, "It's just a small thing. No need to thank me." My sister burst into laughter beside us, clapping her hands and giggling. The anxiety that had been weighing on me for so long finally subsided. I turned to continue apologizing to Michael. Michael ignored my attempt to talk about it and simply said, "There's a meeting at the company. I have to go now." Michael likes my face. As long as I dress up carefully, I'm sure I can seduce him. I made up my mind to win him back and went to his company to find him. I encountered no obstacles along the way. Everyone in the large company seemed to ignore me. I successfully reached his office. Michael was sitting there, head down, working on some documents. If only he hadn't been holding the documents upside down. I sneaked in furtively, but Michael didn't even look up. I steeled myself and straddled his lap. Michael swallowed hard and his Adam's apple bobbed up and down. I gave a kiss and said, "Is Michael angry with me? Then what should I do? Who will support me in the future?" Michael grabbed my waist and said in a hoarse voice, "My dear, who would dare to be angry with you? Oh my, is there a chance?" I pressed on. "It's not that I didn't want to ask you. It's just that as your secret lover, I'm not qualified. I was afraid that after I asked, you'd never talk to me again." This trick worked. Michael immediately gave his assurance after hearing that. "Who said you're a secret lover? You're my wife. Of course you're qualified. Are you here to apologize today? Let me see your sincerity." Michael took my phone and looked through the chat history between me and his mother. He clicked to accept the 1 million yuan transfer and then deleted her as a contact. I was surprised and said, "Michael, a big shot CEO, would still need this 1 million? He smiled and said, "It's free money. She hasn't cared about me all these years. Consider it child support for me. Don't worry about unimportant people." He held my wrist and said, "It's daytime. Let's do something meaningful." From Michael's perspective. My name is Michael. I've been an orphan since childhood, growing up on handouts from neighbors. Later, I got an opportunity and built up a substantial family business. The only regret is that I never had the chance to go to school. I'm naturally in awe of people who are good at studying, so I started lurking around prestigious universities. With so many people there, I'm bound to find a wife. I fell in love with Samuel at first sight. He was wearing a shabby white shirt full of wrinkles. I don't know how many times it had been washed. He wore black framed glasses. He clearly looked like an intellectual. I investigated his background. It was as simple as a blank sheet of paper. He came from a poor family, was an excellent student, and had a younger sister in the hospital who needed a lot of money. What a poor thing. I fell in love with him at first sight and felt pity for him. Tentatively, I proposed to support him and he readily agreed. He obediently nodded and said, "Michael, I'm willing." I was overjoyed. Blushes appeared on his fair skin like white jade. Even his toes turned a light pink and curled up shyly. Indeed, nothing in the world is difficult if you put your mind to it. I said that as long as I kept lurking around prestigious universities, I'd definitely find a good-looking and studious wife. Samuel sent me his thesis and asked me to help him revise it. I stared at the words on it, completely confused. I know every single word, but why can't I understand a thing when they're put together? Is this really Chinese? What do those strange symbols mean? Is it Chinese or English? I suspect he sent the wrong file to me, but Samuel is such a meticulous person that he definitely wouldn't do such a careless thing. Then Samuel must be testing me. Testing whether I really care about him. I can't let down his trust in me. I can't revise the paper, but I can praise people. Full of confidence, I wrote in red font, "My wife is amazing. This is so well written. Wife, you're so awesome." I wrote down all the nice words I've learned in my life and even bolded them at the end. He was really touched. He did this and that with me in the car. Is the reward for revising the paper this good? Is there any more papers? I can revise them. I'm incredibly powerful now. Samuel wants to break up with me. I feel like the sky is falling. First, I reflected on myself. Did I give him too little money? Then I tailed him to find out which guy was trying to steal my wife from me. As expected, I caught him. Samuel actually went on a date with this male home wrecker behind my back. I went up and wanted to slap him. How dare he try to steal my wife? Samuel still tried to stop me, thinking I was embarrassing him. I got angry, the kind that can't be soothed. Under my pressing question, Samuel stammered out the truth. My mother went to see him and asked him to break up with me. She also fabricated a fiancé for me out of thin air. I was burning with anger. She doesn't care when she should, but only causes trouble when she shouldn't. She hid faster than anyone else when I was short of money. Now that someone is finally willing to be with me, she still stirs up trouble. What made me even angrier was that Samuel had such low trust in me. He didn't even come to question me once. Where did that cleverness he shows when doing research go? A fake photo could deceive him completely. What will he do without me? I pretended to propose to let Samuel go and give him freedom. As long as he dared to agree, I would lock him up with an iron chain. Fortunately, he wasn't that low EQ. He realized he had wrongly blamed me and came to coax me nicely. He had never coaxed anyone before, so his methods were awkward and straightforward. I simply stayed angry. I tried hard to hold back the upturned corners of my mouth and turned my back to Samuel, afraid that he would notice something wrong. I quickened my pace and left the scene. If I stayed any longer, I would have burst out laughing. The hospital called me and said that Samuel's sister had an accident. Her health suddenly deteriorated. My heart skipped a beat. Samuel treasures his sister more than his own eyes. How sad he would be if something happened to her. I immediately stopped my work and rushed to the hospital. The little girl was sent to the emergency room, her face as pale as a sheet. God is kind. The little girl quickly got out of danger and came out of the emergency room, sweetly calling me Brother Michael. Loving someone means loving what he loves. Since I took Michael under my wing, I often come to the hospital to see his sister. The little girl has become very familiar with me. I played with her with a toy and she neither cried nor made a fuss. Then Samuel rushed over. He came up and gave me a hug. I was secretly delighted but didn't show it on my face. I patted him on the shoulder indifferently. You're so touched, aren't you? If you're really touched, come and please me quickly. I'm such a genius. Samuel really came close to me. Usually, I'm afraid he'll think I'm a vulgar person, so I never go too far. Taking advantage of his guilt, I must get some benefits in return. I unwrapped the carefully packaged gift. I can do whatever I want with the gift. The desk in the office is a good place. Samuel's performance made me fall into deep thought. I always thought he only liked my money. I didn't expect he really liked me as a person. Oh, well, it's a blessing in disguise. But he has always been very self-abased, thinking that I only want his body and don't want to spend the rest of my life with him. How can this be? Instantly, I sounded the alarm and became vigilant. It's my fault. I didn't give him enough sense of security, which made him have such an illusion. This can't go on like this. This time it was a misunderstanding. If he really runs away one day, I'll have nowhere to cry. I'm a man of my word. On the night when he succeeded in his research, I knelt on one knee and took out the ring. Samuel showed a big smile and said, "I do. Having the beauty in my arms, this life is enough."